Hey, Jack, you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, 陈龙，马上来了。Okay，拜拜。
So,
Hey.
did you send the press release?
Yeah. Did you see that? I sent it to you. I don't know if you.
No, I did not receive it.
International media is not such a big news story yet. So what they want to know over time is how is this model different? How are we beating eBay in China? Like how does our model work? Because the Taobao model is different.
Taobao model different is you see each is here for 5 years and then from eBay, but they did not make money. Taobao model would take that for 1 year and make money. I think it's a big bomb.
Have you heard anything from our competitors on that one?
No. I think they will not make any comments so far.
How's the traffic looking?
Double.
Double?
Yeah.
Good.
Jack laid out his thinking on how we'd compete with eBay. In order to battle eBay's superior firepower and unlimited resources, we would have to pull them into a guerrilla battle. And for a team which had grown up studying the combat tactics of Mao's Red Army, a guerrilla strategy came naturally. Our first move would be to publicly declare war on eBay. The resulting media coverage would bring attention to Taobao and allow us to piggyback off of eBay's well-funded advertising campaign. Jack set a few ground rules, stressing that we could make no personal attacks on Meg Whitman and would not play the nationalism card. But we would argue that eBay's US model did not fit the China market. And to show we were serious, we would have to take our fight to the US. Jack and I traveled to Silicon Valley and New York, meeting with journalists in each city. We encountered a skeptical audience.
Now let's turn our attention to e-commerce in China. Jack Ma is founder and CEO of Alibaba. He is in New York to be a panelist for a conference on business in Asia. And you're facing competition from eBay's Chinese language site, ichnet.com. How are you going to grow in the face of an established company like eBay coming out with its Chinese language site?
Actually, eBay and our C2C site Taobao, we just had fierce competition last 13 months, and we beat them on the traffic of product listings, the memberships. Well, we think they have a tough time.
Despite the media's skepticism, we accomplished our mission of engaging eBay in a war of words, and the buzz of our David and Goliath story grew in China. The most important part of our strategy was to build a website that better fit the China market. And in developing our websites, the two companies pursued very different strategies. eBay moved to link its China site with its global platform, discontinuing features that were popular with Chinese users. Taobao built a website customized for the China market, adding features to help users build trust and make friends online. The website was infused with a softer and more human touch that appealed to China's youth. To eBay's Western managers, Taobao probably seemed too cute and flashy. But Taobao appealed to a new generation in China that used the internet with a certain innocence and optimism that eBay failed to appreciate.
淘宝的微笑刷新每天的奇迹，天天互联对面的你我，新的连接拉近着我们距离，我就在此刻更加爱上你。听我说，淘宝连接你和我，创造幸福的生活。
The website included locally popular features such as live chat and message boards, which encouraged members to build relationships and community. The result was that online shoppers were joining Taobao more quickly, while eBay sellers began to pull up stakes and move to Taobao. As the encouraging results came in, the team took time to celebrate.
我们做到了我们今年的目标，而且这一段时间非常多的好的数据都非常多。只想说一个，淘宝骑兵再无不胜，现在是这样，以前也是这样。现在这么小的孩子都已经做到了，是不是？以后我们肯定会做到，是不是？
好，恭喜淘宝，我们一年比一年更厉害，击败eBay。
幸福的生活，今天上可惜，明天你等不及，今天别要上淘宝。
As the battle entered 2005, eBay and Taobao were neck and neck. eBay decided to double down its efforts in China, announcing an additional $100 million investment and declaring that they were on track to become the undisputed winner in China. But Wall Street was beginning to have doubts.
Today's big headline story on Wall Street, eBay. The stock once again tumbling.
An abomination. The stock was annihilated.
For the first time in its brief history, eBay has hit some major bumps in the road. Questions about why the company needed another $100 million to spend in China.
With investor confidence crumbling, Meg Whitman traveled halfway around the world to discuss her China strategy with CNBC. Meg and her communications chief Henry Gomez worked hard to explain to CNBC's David Faber that eBay was still in the driver's seat.
Our view is that one of the defining characteristics of winning e-commerce companies globally over the next 5 to 10 years will be how successful they are in China. So this is a market that we want to make sure we have a terrific position in.
But as eBay's promises to Wall Street continued, so did the pressures. Back in California, the data coming in must have added to their fears, as each day seemed worse than the last. At last, Jack received an invitation from Meg Whitman for a trip to the eBay headquarters so that Jack could see the company up close and discuss a partnership which might lead to a ceasefire. After his trip, Jack sat me down with a colleague and explained that, although he liked Meg personally, he did not believe we would be able to work with eBay as long as she was CEO. He felt she simply wanted to buy the China market to make Wall Street happy, and that she didn't share his vision of helping grow e-commerce to the benefit of China. With no ceasefire in sight, our battle with eBay became more contentious. But we had one card up our sleeve that eBay had not anticipated.
It is official. Yahoo agreed to pay $1 billion in cash for a 40% stake in Alibaba.com. The move is designed to catch up with eBay. With the deal, Yahoo is going to become Alibaba's biggest investor, and Alibaba will take over Yahoo's China operations.
It was one of the biggest deals in internet history and set off a media frenzy. For the first time, a Chinese internet company had taken over the local operations of a U.S. company in China. And with a search engine now in our portfolio, we boldly proclaimed that not only would we beat eBay in China, but also Google.
eBay obviously has been trying to really build and be a successful company in China. I guess with the Yahoo backing, this is really representing a big challenge for eBay in China.
Back in Hangzhou, the mood was euphoric. To make the partnership work, it was critical to smoothly integrate Yahoo China's team under Alibaba's management. So we chartered a train from Beijing to Hangzhou to bring Yahoo China's team to visit their new national headquarters. It didn't take long before we realized that the two teams had very different cultures. Yahoo China's team seemed weary from years of management changes, and they seemed to think that getting taken over by a local company was a step down. Whatever the reason, the two teams just didn't mix well. Another important challenge was getting government support for the partnership. Jack met with the local government leaders to explain the deal and the benefits it would bring to Hangzhou. Fortunately, we had earned the support of the local government over the years because, as an e-commerce company, Alibaba was seen as a job creator.
今天我跟你说这句话阿里巴巴是完全有可能成长为一个世界级的企业。那么一个世界级的企业，它最重要的要有一个灵魂人物，要有一个领军人物，就是要有一个世界级的企业。马云，我认为已经够资格了。马总，感谢你啊。
With the Hangzhou government embracing the partnership, we received an important green light. But as Yahoo's founder Jerry Yang toured our offices, we learned that when we acquired Yahoo China, we also acquired a political hot potato. When news broke that several years earlier, Yahoo had handed email information about a Chinese political dissident to the Chinese government, Yahoo was put on the defensive. The reports coincided with our annual Westlake Summit, where Bill Clinton was set to be the keynote speaker and give an address that would be broadcast live on local television.
常大的
I'm
贡
honored
献。
to ask
所以说，我
everyone
非
to
常
join
荣
me
幸，
in
请
extending
大家
a
和我一
warm
起
welcome
热烈的
to
欢迎
President William
总
Jefferson
统
Clinton.
威廉·杰斐逊·克林顿总统。
Whatever political system a country has,
我想，就像我刚刚所说的，不管一个国家的政治体系是什么样的，因特网都能够通过交流、通过信息带来巨大的变化，影响到寻常人。我想这是一件好事情。
I was proud that Jack had brought one of the few foreigners who could argue credibly to a Chinese audience about the need to open China's internet. But the sense of pride didn't last long, as the international media were quick to pounce on our new partner.
I'm Peter Goodman with the Washington Post, and this is a question for Mr. Yang. Mr. Yang, your company was founded at a time when internet companies were marketing themselves both to consumers and to shareholders, the public, as not merely business propositions, but almost forces for liberation, for freedom of information, free flow of information, freedom of expression. There are now people saying that your company is effectively a tool of the Chinese government, that you become a force for repression. How does that make you feel personally? And what can you tell us about your company's role in the Shotao case?
Well, no, I appreciate the question, and I think that it's obviously not as clear-cut as you're making it out to be, and I think
Jerry Yang was clearly uncomfortable with the question. For the next several months, Yahoo attempted to lay low and avoid the issue, but their muted response only fueled the controversy. Meanwhile, the issue put Jack on the hot seat.
Hello and welcome back to the show from China. Now, China's best-known internet guru is Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba.com. Recently, Yahoo gave information to the government that led to a detention of a Chinese journalist named Shotao. If you were running Yahoo China at the time, would you have done the same thing?
Yes, I will.
Why?
Wherever you do business, you have to follow the local rules and laws. Either you can change the law. If you cannot change the law, follow the law. So, it's the law in China. You have to follow it. Wherever you do business, this is the basic principles.
I felt it was a bit unfair that Jack had to defend Yahoo's previous actions. But while people may not have agreed with his position, it helped that he offered a clear and consistent response, based on his own beliefs.
Good morning and welcome to this hearing on the internet in China.
Yahoo, meanwhile, continued to muddle through the issue and was ultimately called to Congress to defend its actions in China. Back in China, we did our best to move beyond the controversy and called a strategy meeting to develop a plan to beat Google and Baidu, the local search engine leader. Jack gave his typically inspiring speeches, but I felt he underestimated the complexity of building a successful search engine, and we left the meeting without a clear vision of how we would turn our newly acquired company into China's leading search engine. For the next year, Yahoo China suffered from a series of strategic mistakes, partnership squabbles, and PR distractions which threatened to hang a cloud over the entire company. But fortunately, things were looking much brighter on the other side of our company.
上淘寶，想像力決定購買力。淘啊淘啊淘啊淘！淘寶網淘你喜歡。
The funding raised from Yahoo allowed Taobao to invest in national advertising campaigns. And for the first time, Taobao's numbers surpassed those of eBay. With money in the bank and confidence in Taobao's future, we planned one last attack on eBay, which we hoped would provide the knockout blow. With Wall Street watching, just as eBay released its earnings, we announced that we'd make Taobao free an additional 3 years and called on eBay to follow our move.
And then I'm still working on the release that we're going to send out today about Taobao. And then I think eBay's earnings will be after the close, and then we will make sure it's posted a bit before then so that it's included in the news cycle. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
eBay's stock dropped 5%, and in a knee-jerk reaction, Henry Gomez issued a response from eBay, arguing that free is not a business model.
So we released it in the U.S. at 3 in the afternoon yesterday, and 3 in the morning